All right. Good evening, world. How you doing, man? Welcome to Whose Man's Is This? All right, myself. You got myself here, KG King Guap. My man over here. You got Mr. Shy Town all day.
Also known as Cap. What up, people?
You got my man Jay over here.
Hey, what's happening, dog?
And
Jay in the
last but not
building, know what I'm
least,
saying?
we got Mr. Ryman.
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on? Glad to see y'all.
Good, good,
Yes, sir.
good.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the first episode of Whose Man's Is This? Okay, where we sit around, we got a bunch of gentlemen and we just talk about topics. What's going on in the world today.
Bullshit.
Sometimes we get a little serious, sometimes we get a little funny, but all in all, it's all good. Just information for the people to put out there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Facts. I'm mad that you got a drink, though, bro. Like, I ain't even
Oh
get the,
man,
I
oh, no.
mean,
You
you
gotta be
know, you
ready,
done
dog.
pull a drink up, man. Like, what is that?
You gotta be ready, dog. You know what I
Whose
mean?
man's is this?
You
Hold on.
You know what? And it's not just a regular old drink. This that blackberry crown, dog.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man,
Yes,
tell me you
sir.
got for me. Tell me you got me
No,
a
man. They only
bottle,
let me
bro.
get one bottle at a time, man. They only let me get one bottle at a time.
Oh,
Yo, you mix that shit with some lemonade.
where
Woo!
you get it from?
I got it from up here in Publix. They had one
All right,
bottle.
man, I'm gonna have to.
It ain't coming back out. They said it's not coming back out till March. So
That ain't but
Word.
a couple weeks.
That ain't
but a
too
couple
long
weeks.
though. I mean, it's February now.
yeah,
so
end of March,
it'll be
beginning of
straight.
April. So it wouldn't be too bad.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, what's
What's
the
up?
first topic, man? What we off
Man,
on,
let's make it let's get our frustrations out real quick and talk about this All-Star game, man. Cause I mean, 200 points.
All right. So we want to talk about the game, or you want to cover the whole weekend?
Let's cover the whole
'Cause
weekend. Let's cover the whole weekend.
It was a whole weekend.
Let's
for
cover the whole
itself.
weekend.
I think the first events was they had the skills challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'll be honest, man. I don't typically check the skills challenge
Me either.
out. It's not one of those things that ever really grabbed my attention, man. They don't necessarily market that thing well enough
Nah.
for me to be like, yo, man, the skills challenge is on. Let me go and see it. So I don't have a whole lot on that outside of, yeah, man, they need to do something to bring more attention and more, to more liveliness to that skills challenge, man. It's just not the thing to draw
Man,
heads, man.
it looks
I
like
don't know.
it looks like an obstacle course for kids, bro. Like what am I looking
Yeah,
at, man? Like I don't know, man. Like
I'm sure it's difficult, right?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure this shit is difficult, but man, I don't know. It's nothing it's not gonna be like, oh my God, he threw a nasty pass through this hoop or whatever, and it's
Hmm.
going to shut down the internet or no shit.
Right,
So
right.
I didn't
Well,
see the
you
skill.
all.
Anybody see the skills challenge?
I didn't watch the skills challenge, but man, it's a new day and era, and just like with any other sport, man, the game has changed. Even when it comes to the All Star game, everything has changed. Like you're talking about the skills challenge, you're talking about a record score at halftime. You
Right,
know,
right.
so I mean, it's just the whole game has changed. It's not the same as it used to be. Nowadays you got guys. That stuff is just more or less like amusement show for the kids or whatever. It's not like back in the day when you had Mike and them boys. Them boys was playing. They was
Right,
playing to
Right,
win.
right.
right.
I will get to the game now. We'll get to the game. Cap, you see the skills challenge?
Yeah, man. I saw the skill challenge, man.
So who
Yeah.
was in it? Who do you remember being in it?
You had Wimby in there, Wimby, Maxi, and I don't know if that was a buddy from Minnesota was on one team, if I'm not mistaken, or it could have been somebody else. Then you had the
Anthony Edwards.
yeah, Anthony Edwards. I think they might have,
Yeah.
or was it Trey Young? I think it was Trey Young. One of them was they was all on the team together. Then you
Right.
had the Atlanta on there. Not Atlanta. I'm sorry, Indiana. They had three of their people on there.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Um, Halliburton, the center. I forgot his name right now. Then the other guy, I don't know who that is. Uh, oh, they had the dude from Toronto. He was on that team with Maxi and Wemby, I think. But um, and just me not even knowing who was on teams just let you know like
Right,
how
right.
different people on
Right.
the team. But then Indiana had their whole team. So I don't know how they even orchestrated that and put that together.
Yeah.
It wasn't memorable to me. Everybody was out there kind of like just having fun, even though it did get competitive. I ain't gonna lie, but but they were just out there just kind of to be out there. You know what I'm saying? And they
Right.
wasn't really
Right.
taking it as serious as skill challenges before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
what
you
I
had
took from it.
I mean, so for the
yeah,
participants, you had for the Pacers, Halliburton, Benedict, and then Miles Turner for the Pacers.
Yeah.
Top picks was
Cheryl.
Ventura, Anthony Edwards, and then Wemby. And then you had for Team All Stars, you had Scotty Barnes, Tyrese Maxey, and Trey Young. I mean, they're all up and coming stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all up and coming stars, which is a good thing because I mean we're not going to have LeBron and KD and them for that much longer.
Well, I mean, the truth is, man, those are old men now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think the league is trying to do their part in ushering in, this next generation of exciting NBA talent, man. So I don't know that that particular competition does that well because again, man, it's like I'd imagine a lot of people are just kind of foregoing the skills competition altogether and waiting until the more traditional aspects of the All Star Weekend kick off, like of course the dunk contest and the 3-point shootout.
Right.
So um, I think after skills, it was I think the dunk contest came on next, right?
Just 3 point. 3 point.
Was
Wasn't it?
3-point
It was
next?
3
Yeah, it
point.
was
3 point.
3-point. I won't lie, man. 3-point got cool. I know who Dame was in it.
He won. He won it.
Yeah, he was the winner. But who else? You got happen to have a list of who else was in it?
Halliburton was in it.
Yeah, yeah, Halliburton. I know at one point there was a three-way tie that Dame had to crack into or something. It was like tied at 26, and Dame had to. He was still left to shoot, and I want to say he had to beat that 26 to even get into the next round or something to that
Yeah,
effect,
he ended up
man.
winning on the final shot and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
3-point is always cool though, man.
Yeah.
I mean, shooting the rock will always be an exciting part of the 3-point shootout. And I saw it. I mean, I know they usually had a money ball and
Yeah.
you can put all your money balls in a certain rack. And
Yep.
then I saw the starry ball, right? Remember they had the starry ball that was
Yeah.
in between racks and it was a deep ass three. Like, I don't know if that was new for this year or what they were doing with the starry ball, but
I think that's been in place for like
starry,
the last few.
Yeah, a couple of years now,
yeah,
I think.
yeah, that's word, man. But I like the format of the 3-point shootout. I don't know that I don't know what you can change outside of adding a defender or something, which I don't know what that would look like, but I mean, the long and the short is it was entertaining, man, especially when when you get that.
You good, Jake? You go.
Yeah, when you get that dead heat when you got three players locked in at a certain score and everything,
Yep.
it was entertaining, man. I mean that's about. I mean, truth be told, I had stuff going on Saturday night, so I ended up kind of catching up on YouTube type stuff. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I mean, I enjoyed watching it though, man. That was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 3 points always been one of my favorites. That
Yeah.
it's like slam
Yeah.
dunk.
3. Yeah. 3 points is always nice, man. They're always because it's hard not to be competitive in the 3 point one. You don't have to be
Man.
creative. All it is just you shooting, right?
And
It's
it's
just
wild when somebody gets hot, man.
right,
Like when somebody
right,
get hot and they start
right.
rolling, you like, "Ooh."
Like I even like the
So
to build off that 3 point one. I even like the one with the Curry and that's
yeah,
good.
we'll get
Yeah,
to that
my
one.
bad,
We'll
my
get
bad.
to
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one. We'll get to that one.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Damian Lillard came out and won it, man. Dame's always had the eye, man. That dude's always been a dead eye shooter, man.
Yep.
And
That kid's a beast from out the rock, boy.
man, I mean, he's nice, man. Dame is so nice with it, and I know he was on his loyalty to Portland thing for the longest time, and I want to say he was kind of one of those last holdouts of dudes that wanted to play for one team and leave, retire out of the league with one team type stuff.
Yeah,
But it's hard, man.
it's
Like,
hard.
especially being out west.
It's
I
hard.
mean, them boys had
Hmm.
stacked it up, and I
Hmm.
mean, Portland has some squads, man. Like Dame has been on some squads now. I think probably his best number two is what you think, like CJ McCollum or something,
I think so.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think so.
So his teams always had depth, but his number two just always. I mean, it's CJ McCollum, man. I mean, he's
Well,
nice.
didn't he have LaMarcus for a little bit?
Yeah, but he couldn't stay healthy. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You know how Aldridge got
Yeah,
down.
Aldridge
man.
not stay healthy. He cannot stay
and then Odom couldn't stay healthy either.
Yeah. So it just seemed like Dame was always in a place
Mhm.
where he's doing heroic shit to put his team on his back, and next thing you know, they coming up short, man. And I mean, they were paying him the bread and all the things, but I mean, I guess it still goes to show that winning means something
Yeah.
to these dudes. You know, I
Oh, yeah.
didn't know for a while if the bread would be enough to just keep him content, but he obviously wants to win a ring, man, and he went out east to try to get it. But who else was shooting threes? Who was in the final with him? I can't
Yeah, let's
remember
see.
who was in the final.
Who was in the final with Dame?
Yeah.
Let me check it out.
So
Because
the-
it was a lot that was kind of like everybody was tired at one point.
Yeah. It was nasty
So
work getting
the-
into
the-
that last round.
So the total participants was Beasley, Brunson, Halliburton, Dame, Markin, Donovan Mitchell, Cat, and Trey
Yeah,
Young.
yeah. Right on. And the last two was who?
Cat and Trey Young.
Cat and Trey Young?
Mhm.
Yeah. No. It had to be Dame, right?
Oh, you mean for the finals? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
the
just read-
final two. Yeah.
Yeah, Dame and because unfortunately I didn't get to watch that.
Nah.
I just got off work, and I got
Right,
back
right.
in. I got to watch Steph Curry and then this could go at it.
Right.
Let's see here.
But yeah, Trey is nice too, man. And I wonder if that's gonna be the case with him. Whereas, I mean, you get big contract after big contract with Atlanta, and I mean, there comes a point, man, where I'd imagine you want to get that ring, right? I mean, ain't that's kind of what you sign up for, man, is to get that ring.
We'll go into that if you want to go into some deeper
He-
detail. I don't think that's
yeah, he
what a lot of
beat-
these players want to do anymore.
He
But
beat Trey Young. He beat Trey Young and Anthony Towns. I guess it was the last three. You know,
Yeah, the last
whoever
three
win,
won it for him. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the last three
Oh,
point
those are the
shooters that
last three
advanced.
participants. Gotcha.
hmm
Yeah, Cat can ball too, man. I think he spends a lot of time behind that arc, and that might be part of their problems. But that's neither here nor there, I guess.
That's
I mean,
another combo.
right, I'm about to say,
Yeah,
man, it's
yeah.
a convo, just like it's not a convo talking about these dudes want to win rings. Because I got my thoughts on that
Right.
too.
Cause you can have that outlook like Gil. Like, man, give me that bread. I could go online and buy one of these rings that these other cats been selling.
Right.
I'm
Which
telling
is
you,
foul,
I feel
Gil.
like people
That's
don't care about
foul,
that.
bro.
They just about their bread now, man. But that's another topic.
Yeah, 3-point was
Yeah.
cool, man. It was competitive. I think that's about all you can ask. 3-point.
I mean, but really, can you
right?
blame them though? In a way, still be about their bread. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these guys, man, get injured. So you want to make sure you capitalize.
It's
on
not.
what
It's
you're
not.
doing, you know
It's
what I
not.
mean?
It's not that, man. It's the fact that I feel like and this is not just to pertain to basketball. I just feel like a lot of these cats nowadays. I'm not gonna say a lot, but even some of the stars, like it feels like they just there to make the bread, but don't care about actually winning. And like I don't see that as like I'm not saying you gotta be Kobe because that man was on a different level mentality.
Yeah, we can't.
But I'm saying I feel like sometimes you don't feel like some of these dudes is hungry. You know what I mean? Like I want a dude to be
Well,
hungry,
I've been
like seeing that journey.
I've been
Right.
saying this for a minute, man. Like I said, the league has changed. These guys, they playing for the, I feel a lot of them are playing for the bread. It's not like I said, you had guys like back in the day when you had that like the whole Michael Jordan, even before him era, when these guys were making compared to what these guys make now, they're making pennies,
Peanuts, man. They're
you
Right.
making
know.
peanuts.
And these guys, like you say, want to win championships. They
Hmm.
go out there trying to win. They play for the love of the game. It was more aggressive, more physical. That's why I say some of these players that play now probably wouldn't even last in the league back then. Because man, you had a team like the Detroit Pistons. The bad boys. They used to go out there and just beat people up on the court.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, that was part of it. I mean, they had excellent guard play too, though, and that was one of the
Fantastic guard
things
play,
that
fantastic.
Oh,
I don't know
you
that
had
they get enough credit for,
Isaiah
man. I
being the
mean, yeah,
microwave.
Beer and all them boys, they were a little rough under the bucket. Dennis Rodman, the Worm, man, shouts to the Worm. But man, you got to think about it. That might be the last time that a small guard, being Isaiah Thomas, went back to back, and that was the big man era, even.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, back to
Oh
back. I
yeah.
mean, you got Steph.
And
Yeah.
maybe,
You got Steph Curry. They won back to back. Granted, it was with KD.
yeah, but Steph is what 6'4".
True.
I think
No,
Isaiah
no,
was
he
what,
ain't
I
6'4", is
mean,
he?
6'1"
6'4"?
maybe.
Yeah,
He's 6'3",
he might be
How
right.
tall is Steph,
He might be
man?
right.
Curry's about 6'3", 6'4", something like that.
Yeah, but man, just for me to add on to that, when it comes to like the basketball, man, and I think that's why a lot
It
of
says
us,
he's 6'2".
I think that's why a lot of us is kind of eh on watching basketball because it's like there really is no maximum effort. You don't have a lot of players that want to play 82 games. Like, Mike and not just to bring up Mike, but people in his era, majority they play all 82 games.
Right,
Unless there was an injury where you couldn't get on the court.
right.
He was going out there hooping whatever. And I'm not gonna say they was making peanuts because for that time that was a lot of
Yeah,
money
they were
because
getting paid,
because
man.
inflation. So like, but at the same time, they were still going out there because they wanted to compete because they wanted to win that championship.
Hmm.
They wanted to do other things. But now, like we saying, a lot of cats they just going in there for the bread.
Bread
Once
and
they
Well, I
made it,
think
it's
once they make it, they got so much other things that they can get into that
right.
setting them up for
And
after basketball.
hmm
They not really caring about basketball, which is like prime example. Um, what's her name for LSU? And it's like people keep
Um,
saying,
oh yep.
you got Angel Reese, you got to
Hmm.
come back to what made you who you are, and that's
mm,
basketball. You can't try to do other things and forget about the thing that made people want to do business with you, which is basketball. You got to get back on your grind, and
I mean, you
that's
can,
just kind of
man.
like the attitude.
What were you about to say, Ryan? I want to
Um,
step on you,
it
bro.
was it was. I was going to piggyback off what he said. It's not the bread, and he actually kind of alluded to it what he said, but I'm gonna put it to a smaller word. It's not just about the
Mm,
bread, right? It's also about my brand. So when they
Yeah, yeah.
and so when these dudes are out there, it's like they're like, oh, let me put. I'm trying to get this bread, but also my brand, and that brand is now. It seems like on the surface. Now I'm not saying this to everybody, man, but it seems like for a
mm.
lot of these cats, it's that's almost more important or just as important as winning a ring. And you just don't see some of that hunger sometimes, and it's just like, damn, you know what I mean? Because I want to see.
Well,
People like seeing that journey.
yeah. I mean, the championship team requires buy-in from a lot of
It
places,
does. It
and
does. It's a
I
sacrifice.
just I think in I think in the '90s, you saw a lot of dynasties, '80s and '90s. Moving into that era,
Mm-hmm.
you saw dynasties because these front offices, from top to bottom, were getting buy-in from their players. The coach was a good match. The city was supporting the team well. The general manager was bringing in the talent, like, and you saw a lot of that happening that I I don't know that the league was more competitive back then. I think now you have so many high skill players, and you can only have one lead dog for the most part, right? You're gonna have your top two, but you're gonna have a lead dog to get, 3 through 9 on your depth chart to show up every day, understanding that these dudes, where they might not be as good as your lead dog, but I think the gap between the best player on your roster and the worst player on your roster is so much smaller now.
I agree.
So you got a lot of egos to manage in that, you got, NCAA champions, you got dudes that have won and have started and have been the AAU man throughout their entire career.
Yeah.
But you get a coach that runs a system that says that, hey, yo, man, this is a big man system, not a small man system. So you bring the ball up and you get the ball into the paint. Or I run a 3-point system and you're a good slasher, mid-range jump shooter, but yo, man, we shoot threes on this team. This is what we do. So now you got that player that could start on other teams, kind of talking him into playing a support role.
Right.
And I don't know how easy that is, man.
But
But I can imagine that affects your hunger at a point. If you showing up to work every day and you used to being the lead dog all your life, you've been the lead dog with a basketball, and you show up and you ask to, you're not the head chef no more, man. You busting tables. Like how invested are you gonna be into busting tables for real? Especially if you're not winning, especially if your team is not winning.
That's the key right there.
What am I gonna do? Like, dog, my coach, he don't even trust my skill set like that. Oh man, whatever. Yeah, I got a nagging, whatever. Yeah, I ain't playing, man. It's
but another thing is, to me, and I mean, I could be going left field. This is what happens when you have too much player empowerment. Like, we all about people getting their bread, but it's too much player empowerment to where they are allowed to dictate way too much. They're allowed to sabotage teams. And I'm not saying James Harden does this, but he's allowed to.
You gotta say this man's name. You gotta put it here,
I don't know. Like I said, we not
Whose
there.
man's is this, man?
Hey, we don't know. We don't know for sure because we're not in that world. We're not in that world, so we really don't know. But just on the outside looking in, and I could be wrong. But
right? Yeah, that's real. Yeah.
when you can just dictate at any given time, like I'm not with it, I'm out, and then you don't want to compete against people.
And that's why he will never get a championship.
You want to team up with people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody want to go play with their buddy. Like back in the day, the team that you went with, you never wanted to get traded because you wanted to play against those people. That's not like that no more. To an extent,
I'm not saying, I think this is a bigger conversation, but
but I mean, we can circle it back to that's why the All-Star game is like the way it is. Like, to me, Anthony Edwards, this was his All-Star game to come in because he been saying he wanted to be the man. This was his game to come in and start busting people's ass. I know, relax, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that was his time. That was his time to like exert himself as like, hey, I'm him. I'm the next him. But he come out there trying to be Larry Bird
in the beginning of the game, bro. I'm
just talking about him. I'm just talking about him because he coming out here thinking he Larry Bird shooting with his left hand. Like, come on. Like,
they're fooling around, man. I don't think it's serious.
But you want Larry Bird sharpshooter good to just be coming out doing that. Like, I expected him to come out like, hey, I'm about to get these buckets and let y'all know I'm arrived. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But that didn't happen. And that's
Well,
what's up with the All Star
well,
game.
let's not skip over the dunk contest though, man.
All right, all right, all right.
Yeah, let's not skip over that.
Ugh, dunk
So,
contest.
The man's ruined that.
Hey, stop talking so close to the mic. It gets distorted.
Like that?
Yeah.
wow, man.
Man, whose man is this?
Right.
Man?
Hey, my fault, man.
Yeah, that dunk contest, man. I appreciate the first thing I'm gonna say before I shit on this thing. I appreciate that. I appreciate that Jaylen Brown came out and he had star power, and he came out and participated in that dunk contest. Thank you for that. I'll give him his flowers for that.
Shit. Shouts to Jaylen Brown, man. Word.
But after that, man, that dunk contest, boy, man. What? First of all, the judges boo these men. That man, what? What? They done almost gave Jaylen Brown a 50-piece for jumping over a dude sitting down that's shorter than me. What are we doing?
That's a lot,
man. What are we doing, man? Like, there's no creativity no more. It was just like almost like a popularity contest.
Yeah, the reaction like they never seen it before either.
Right. I'm like, what is this?
It's the same dunks over and over again.
And that's why they was getting booed.
I wish they would do. Man, you see online these videos, these cats be out here doing some of these crazy off the wall, bro.
Yes.
That's what I was talking about. Yep.
They need to let some of these guys like open it up some kind of way where you got outside.
I mean, it's already open to the G League, man. Like that's the next logical step. Is you know what, man? You know you can do an event where you gotta make your way in, and maybe that could be a way that you can get a look. You know what I'm saying?
Like Stephen A. Stephen A. said, hey, have a tournament.
Yeah.
Get some of the best dunkers. Give some NBA dudes to go sponsor their favorite dunker. Bring them in. First place get a milli. Second place get 500. Third place get like 100 or 200 bands, something like that. And then and you can raise that stuff for charity. All kind of stuff you could do with that.
Yeah, for sure. A creative mind will make some things happen, man. But that's kind of what I was thinking too. And I hadn't seen the Stephen A. Commentary on that, but maybe it's time to outsource the whole damn thing because, that star power piece. I know we had a conversation about that and how the dunk contest lacks star power, and that's one of the things that makes it less interesting. Perhaps, and one of the reasons is, what does it look like when you are AAA star, name it, and you hurt yourself in a damn dunk contest?
Well, if you're hurting yourself,
you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but if you're hurting yourself,
like you're gonna risk. Some of them dunks, man, you risking to entertain us today. Like look at Buddy Gordon when he jumped and he put the ball under his legs. Like, dog, that's a risk, bro. Like you are taking serious risk.
I get that, but you know what?
Wrong. That could be your season. That could be your career.
I get what you're saying, man. But come on, if you get hurt in a dunk contest, and yes, you can fall your ankle wrong, all that can happen. But you can fall your ankle wrong walking down the stairs, bro. Like, come on. I've seen dudes get hurt doing less, man. And listen, I'm gonna piggyback off of what I said when we had this conversation the other day. It ain't even what Stephen A. agree with me, whatever. I can care less about that. It's the fact that LeBron's kind of ruined this dunk contest. Because I'm gonna say this shit, man.
Blame everything on LeBron, huh? You blame everything on LeBron.
Man, listen, man.
Everything,
not everything, man. It's not everything, man. It's not everything. It's not everything.
I'm not doing it.
If there's one thing that I will say that LeBron is the GOAT at, I don't think he GOAT, but there's one thing I'll say he's the GOAT at. He's the GOAT at controlling his narrative, and he controlled that narrative of not playing in the dunk contest. And I'm not saying he had to do crazy dunks. He could have just done some tomahawks and called it a day. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a power slammer. He ain't got to be crazy.
What's that going to do to his legacy? Like, whenever, like you said, man, LeBron.
Man, listen.
No one. As soon as he enters that arena, compared to the arguably the GOAT Michael
which
Jordan.
he
As soon as he enters that arena,
well,
and
time out,
don't
Jay.
win,
Jay, he's the one that controlled that narrative to make it about Jordan. He pushes that narrative. When you wear the number, come on, bro. You know what you doing.
Every kid wore the number though, bro.
No,
Every kid that was hooping, coming in,
bro. You
come on, dog.
know, he is controlling that narrative with that. He wants the talks, and that's fine. But embrace it,
Right?
embrace it. You want to be
right.
Embrace it. That's it.
I don't think LeBron has ever been a very creative dunker.
He done got to be, but Jordan wasn't.
That's that.
No, he's not.
You want to be honest about this, man? Like, for him to be so worried about losing just because of who he was, just because of the expectation of him and how big he was coming into the league, he would have won it just doing some regular dunks, probably.
Star power.
You know what I'm saying?
Star power.
I don't know.
Star power. Them judges would have voted for him.
The people he was going up would have been going against at the time. It wasn't like Vince Carter was about to come back, or you know what I'm saying, T Mac was about to come back. Like, you had some no-name people in the dunk contest. Just him alone and his name would have won it. Like when Kobe Bryant did it. It wasn't that Kobe Bryant did the craziest dunks. It was just because it was Kobe Bryant. He was the high schooler. He took Brandy to prom. He had the momentum at the time. Because he wasn't even Kobe yet. He just had the momentum.
He's popular.
I feel it, man. So what are you thinking around what year should he have done it?
Oof.
He should have done it in his first couple of years coming in the league, bro.
Nah.
Because after that, because he didn't do it, because he was supposed to be, he was the quote unquote king before he even did anything, that would have been the time to do it. Because then after a while, when everybody kept asking him to do it, now it's the expectation of saving the dunk contest. You didn't have that if you just would have came and just did it.
I got the perfect year for you. The first year he went into the championships. Because he was still popular at the time. Because, when he went to Miami, everybody hated him. So first year.
When did he first go to the chip? Like 2008 or something?
Something like that. Against the Spurs, right? So the first year he went to the championship, and they got blown the fuck out. But that was high of the pop. Like that was his first height of popularity, right? And I think that would have been great. We'll have to look at who he would have went up against, but I
want to say that was like when that was around the Dwight Howard years, bro. That was when Dwight Howard pulled the Superman shit out and all that.
But think about how dope that would have been.
Yeah, that was 2007 was his first appearance in the finals.
What was that? 07?
Yeah, 07.
Yeah. That's Gerald Green and Dwight. I think Rudy Gay was in it.
Nate Robinson.
I don't think that was the Nate year.
Okay.
Nate was either the next year or the year after. Because I think Nate came after. He basically tried to win it because Dwight had won it the year prior or something like that.
I think Nate won it 3 times from what we was talking about yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah, he won like 3 times.
That's wild, man. But this year's dunk contest, though, man. I know we shouted out Jaylen Brown, bro, but come on, man. Come on, bro. When you do the D Brown shit and then you cover your eyes, you done landed safely and all the shit. Like, it was just embarrassing, bro. And it's not that the stuff that these dudes did was not different, because they're doing some pretty high level of difficulty dunks. I don't know, man. The way I think that Aaron Gordon Levine dunk contest just raised the bar so fucking high.
That was good. That was good.
Because those dudes, it was like, it wasn't this, running to do the dunk 8-9 times, because that was one of the problems they had run into with the dunk contest. dudes were trying the same dunk. You know, they were trying to up the level of difficulty, but they hadn't practiced their dunks. So they were practicing in real time. And it
Yeah.
kind of fucked the flow of the dunk contest up, messed the flow up, or it could have fucked it, whatever. But when Gordon and Levine were going, it was like they were on the fly doing some of the most incredible shit we ever seen.
It was wild,
bro.
wasn't it?
I mean, my God,
It was
dude,
wild.
every
It was
next
wild.
dunk was like, bro. And I don't know.
And it was
I don't know
competitive.
how you incentivize that, man. Like, yeah, like, because what I'm seeing happening is these dudes are doing some of the illest dunks in the first round. You know what I'm saying? So by the time you get to the end of the dunk contest, they out of gas. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how to incentivize the dunk contest, man. I don't know what's the prize for it. I mean, I know you get the trophy and the notoriety
Trophy
or
and what,
whatever.
a car or something like that, or
No,
I know
it's
Kia
got
used
to
to
be
give
money.
you a car or something.
Yeah, but it's got to be bread. But what we kind of was alluding to yesterday,
Yeah.
if you
Give
ain't
me
gonna
real-
have that,
one
if
sec,
you're
one
not gonna
sec.
have the names,
First place is a $105. Second place is 55K. Third place is 20K.
Pennies,
Which,
pennies,
for an
pennies.
NBA player,
Outside McClung. Because he in the G
yeah,
League.
and McCarthy's showing up and taking those bands, man.
Which-
and shouts to him, man, because I can't even knock McClung necessarily. 'cause,
No,
I
he did
mean,
good. He did good.
He did well, man.
did very
Like,
well.
So
I'm actually mad.
kinda-
I'm mad because his first dunk was better than his second dunk. I don't care what no one
Yeah.
say. And they
and
done,
that's what I
and,
was saying.
and they didn't rate that
Yeah.
shit good at all. I was like, what the hell? They rated it below Jalen Brown's. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, come
yeah,
on,
the
man.
judges-
come
the
on,
judges
man.
really messed that
you
thing
saying
up,
fix
man.
was in?
Oh, the fix was in, bro.
They were trying to put the
That fix was in.
man.
The fix was
They were
in, bro.
They're trying too hard as hell.
We can't let this white boy win this twice in a row.
Is in.
The fix was in, dog.
He's the new Brent Berry of this shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, shouts to McClung, man. He was yamming tough, man. I mean, the dude. It's not like he's a giant specimen of a man or nothing, pause. But I mean, he's getting the job done. But I wouldn't be mad at outsourcing the dunk contest
At
to
all.
some of these dudes that are trying to get on. They trying to get this internet money, and these are professional dunkers, man.
Mhm.
Like an NBA
Mhm.
player has to develop so many other skills.
Yeah, Duncan's not even really
That-
part of the game, really.
That the dunk, yeah, right. The dunk is even losing its swag, really. Like the 3-point is what's good.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Well, you
what's
got
filling up
guys
the
that can-
seats nowadays.
That can shoot the three, turn around, look at the crowd, and then just run up court.
Man, what?
No one is going in. That's wild, man.
Mhm.
That's
Hey.
wild.
Right.
Hey, and I just want to just go back just because I just found something out. When Kobe Bryant, right? When Kobe Bryant went to the dunk contest,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. Kobe Bryant went against Chris Carr. Does anybody even know who that is?
Nah, I don't remember who that
And
is.
Michael Finley. Even though Michael
No,
Finley
Michael
has,
Finley.
has
Michael Finley. He
has-
was a power dunker, though.
Yeah,
Michael
even-
Finley,
hey.
fly, bro.
yeah,
Hey, Michael
even though he
Finley,
has some
He was
springs.
yamming tough. Son.
Yeah, even
was
though he
yamming
has some
tough.
springs. But come on, bro. That's what I'm saying. And then, you know,
Carr, didn't he
Vince.
play wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings?
Um,
But it wasn't just about who Kobe was. But hold on, before you go in your.
But who else? So who else was it? It was Finley. Who else?
it was Finley, Chris Carr, Kobe, and I'm trying to find out who the others, but it's just giving me those three.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Well, Michael
Kobe
Finley
was,
is man.
Carr was
he-
second, and Finley was third.
But you still had an up and
I
coming
think
star in
Finley
Kobe.
that year tried. I think he tried a very difficult set of dunks, and he just didn't hit his dunks. Man,
Yeah.
Michael Finley jumped out the
Oh, he was
gym,
nasty.
bro.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Them ones.
He had springs. Like I said, he had springs, but what I'm saying is, at the time, out of those three people, Kobe had the
Yeah, he
momentum.
had the star power, man. Yeah,
Right.
he
Yeah,
did.
star
And
power,
Kobe
It
exactly.
didn't
had
take
hops
that
too,
much,
man. I mean,
and it didn't take much. So that's what I'm saying with LeBron. You mean to tell me he couldn't go in against Dwight Howard, Nate Robinson, and Gerald Green, and probably would have came out with the trophy, or
Talking about
even
Superman.
I
that
think he could have.
following year,
yeah,
Dwight
I
Howard
think
yeah,
he
and
could
Gerald
have.
Green
man,
again,
yeah.
I think he
and
could have.
then Nate Robinson and Dwight Howard again,
And,
and then it was
and wasn't that the
Nate
time?
Robinson again.
Wasn't in that time, in that time frame when LeBron was going against a Dwight Howard in the Eastern Conference Finals. Dwight
Yeah,
Howard's
yeah,
team is
that was
great.
Orlando,
Yeah,
Dwight.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cavs is great. It would be a
yeah,
good
yeah.
little. It's like a good little inside story.
Right.
That we can play with as media.
Well, I'll say this. I do appreciate players like Nate Robinson in the dunk contest because that's a little man.
Yeah.
That
Oh
get
yeah.
up there,
Oh
man, and can fly, man. Get up there and do some things with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
pause.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what I'm saying. Like you got to give him credit for doing it, but at the same time, that's why the dunk contest was lackluster because it's like if he could do it, why can't some of these big name people who high flyers do it?
Mm-hmm.
And they just wasn't doing it because Bron set the standard. Well, I ain't got to do it, and then that kind of like started to me the snowball effect on how players kind of are approaching the All-Star game. Because to be honest, the real last All-Star game, I forget what year it was when Stephon Marbury was, I don't know if he was on the Nets, but they was like, that everybody was trying to win and they was going at it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was one of
I
the
feel
best last All-Star games where them cats was out there hooping.
Listen.
All right. Hey, let's officially push the. I mean, we good with dunk contest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we good with that. Yeah, we good
Shouts
with
to
that.
Matt McClung. Dude jumps out of the gym. They need to better incentivize. I think they need to better incentivize this entire weekend. To be honest, I know there was some talk of. I think did the NFL do something to put draft picks or something on the line? Like, wasn't there some real playoff impact on the line or some shit?
I think they was going to do like a home field event. It was something crazy they had put in there, but
yeah.
But I think they
did, Ronnie. They done a lot of things. They threw a lot of things at the dartboard.
But I think they about to get rid of it too, because once you start taking the tackling out and doing the hand and the flag, I think they about to do away with that. The Pro Bowl.
Well, I think it's like a flag football game now. So
that's what I'm saying. I think they about to get rid of it. But I would suggest, I like the way the 3-point contests go. They should definitely kind of do what Stephen A was talking about. And then third, like I think it was cool when they was incorporating the WNBA in that joint in some of the contests and the skills to kind of like keep putting more light on the WNBA and women's sports.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they have their own All-Star game, but if you continuously incorporate them, it kind of keeps putting more and more eyes on that product and more eyes on women's sports. To me, I'm saying, like I said, it's not, you don't have to put it like, oh, they need to be in the 3-point contest type deal. I'm saying, remember when they kind of had like that little skills challenge where like it'll be like a man, it'll be like a women play for the same city.
Yeah.
And they was getting busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like maybe a couple of seasons ago. I think they had.
And that was cool. And that was cool. Like, and then they took that out. And told girl, Sabrina challenged Steph. And I mean, she held her own. That's all I'm saying.
And
that was exciting.
Sabrina and Steph. We'll get to them, man. But so All-Star game, they went back to the standard East-West format that us old heads are kind of used to.
Mm-hmm.
They got away from LeBron and Giannis picking all the damn time, which I appreciate, man.
Appreciate them trying new things.
They tried something different, and I appreciate that. I ain't going.
Yeah. I mean, they did it for a while. It was cool. I think at a point though, I think they assumed that the West was so dominant over the East that an East-West All-Star game wouldn't make a lot of sense. Is that?
I mean,
what do y'all think about that?
I mean, I get what you're saying, man.
I agree.
I get what you're saying, but when's the last time these things have been that competitive? These dudes are fucking around. They just throwing the shit like half court.
They're
They don't-
completely fucking around now.
They're not just
man.
fucking around. They just fucking around. Which I'm like, cool, whatever, but it's not a product I'm gonna want to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and it's not
watching-
even
it's like
it's
watching
not
the
even
Harlem
cool
Globetrotters.
fucking around either.
Right.
It's not like they doing amazing stuff
No.
like when T-Mac and all them boys would be and they throw some shit off the glass. and
Yeah,
somebody
if you gonna do something, do
each
something.
other, and it was nasty. It's not even that no
Mm.
more. They just standing around waiting for each other to hit threes.
And
That's
people
what
was
it
actually
looked
trying
like
to
to
dunk
me.
Dikembe in the game, and Dikembe
Yeah,
actually
man, they was
to
trying
block
to
it.
punch on that
Right,
man, like
right.
for real. Don't get caught down there because I'm getting you. And
Mhm.
they was like, "No, you ain't getting me." And
Yeah.
you don't have that now, man. I don't know why the All-Star game it lacks the competitive spirit. Like, and it's not that they never fucked around because they would fuck around.
Yeah, they
the
fuck
first
around.
few
Well,
quarters.
yeah, fuck around.
That
Cause
fourth
yeah,
quarter was like, yo,
let's get it.
It was like it was like almost end of the third quarter.
in the
fourth
third,
quarter.
yeah, they start kind of trying to get the score close. So when the
Yeah.
fourth quarter comes, that's the game. And they're not doing that anymore,
But you
man.
could incorporate like they did one of them years. Remember, even when they was doing the whole LeBron and Giannis picking. Remember, it was like you can whatever happens in the first three quarters was nothing, and then it was like fourth quarter.
Right. And
You
it was like a
gotta-
charity.
yeah.
It wasn't it a charity or something that
Yeah, something like that,
Giannis
and they
picked
was,
Team LeBron picked
and
or
that
something
kind of
like
got real competitive when it was the fourth quarter and people started hooping.
Mhm.
They started
Yeah.
getting real competitive, and
Yeah,
because
it
it was
got
something
better.
line,
It got
yeah,
better.
But it wasn't
But-
as competitive, but it was more competitive than what it is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing is, man, you'll have a better All-Star game watching the two best NBA Live players or NBA 2K players play an All-Star game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that All-Star game would be better than the product that the NBA is putting on the floor now because 200
Yeah.
points, man. I saw the score at halftime. I was like, yo, I know
that
they
was
ain't
wild.
about to score
It was a
200.
record. It was a record this year. They set a record.
Yeah.
They almost put up 400 points. Like Rachel Dolezal almost got 400 million views for
Hey,
showing
man.
that thing.
Hey, shout out to her.
Hey, shouts to Ray, man. Word.
Right.
Literally, I'll talk about her later, man. Word. Yeah, man. Overall, I think it was somewhat underwhelming, to be honest. I mean, perhaps the NBA is putting more into the in-person packaging of that product. Like if you were there in person, it might have been a fly experience.
I bet you,
know what
it
I'm
was.
saying?
Yeah,
Like,
heck yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm
Hell yeah.
sure they got all kinds of stuff going on, man. I got
All
a
them
homegirl-
stars? Hey, there's no
I remember
reason.
this.
yeah,
I
you know
remember
about
when
it.
I was I think I was in middle school, and they
Mm-hmm.
had the little All-Star weekend, man. They used to have like a thing for the kids, and they bust all the kids from in our school and our districts out there, man, to the All-Star thing. They had like a whole little All-Star thing for like the kids, for like the high school and middle school kids and stuff. And you got to go out there and experience, like even like with the NFL. Remember they used to have the NFL experience. Was
Yeah,
part of
the NFL play and all that.
Yeah, and they got rid. They just changed the whole format. They got rid
Because
of all that.
it's all about money.
Right.
Just like you keep saying, like in like I was watching, the Nightcap, and Unc and Chad was talking about that. Like the average fan can't afford to even go to these games. You can't even afford to go to the All-Star weekend, bro.
That's something else.
And what
Not
was
the
that we
average
saw?
kid,
And
man. No.
what was that we saw? Somebody posted about the Super Bowl tickets was like $130,000 for one ticket for a seat.
Bruh. And
That's
I've been
insanity.
and for a person go to like some games, like half the people who go to the games don't even be in their seat. They be walking around the stadium watching it on TV.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess all in all, man, the All-Star weekend, we haven't covered down on Stephen. I mean, the All-Star game was what it was. Shouts to Dame. He pulled up from a 3 from half court. That shit was ridiculous.
Multiple
But
times.
yeah. Shouts to that dude, man. He got incredible range. the last thing though was the Steph Curry versus what's her name?
That's who,
Sabrina.
Sabrina.
I can't. Yeah, I can't say her last name.
So one of the issues I had with it was, I saw some of the talking heads saying, well, she should have shot from the WNBA line to make it a more fair situation.
She was doing fine to me.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Yo, she hit 26, man. Like 26 would have got her into the final of the male NBA joint. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like that would have got her into the final. So yeah, she used the WNBA ball, but I mean, ultimately, I think that was the right call. She shot from NBA range. Respect to the chick. I do think if they would have had her shooting from a WNBA line, I think she would have won it. But after she wins it, how much is that worth really? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people would have been like,
they would shit on.
Of course she won. She shot from a certain distance or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
They would have killed it.
Mm-hmm.
They would have killed it. And that's not what they needed for that event. You know what I mean?
That's word.
Yeah,
that's
they
word.
did right.
What you got, man?
Well, shout out to the NBA, man. Shout out to the NBA, the players and whatnot. NBA All-Star Weekend. All in all, I guess it was a success if that's what you want to call it.
No, I'm sorry to cut you out. There ain't no shout out to the NBA. That shit was trash. I ain't gonna, man. I know we're trying to be politically correct, but man, hey, whose man's is this?
Fuck it.
Hey, it was that one part of the event that was cool. The rest of that shit was garbage.
Okay, well then, hey, I guess the NBA get the old horn then.
Yeah,
what it is, man.
Thank you, man. Fuck
that. What it is. Hey, my bad. Hey, I'm sorry. Whose man's is this? My bad.
That's why we over here fumbling. Got us research like who part of the programs. The shit was trash.
We don't even know because it's not. Yeah.
All right, but on to this, man. Cap, I want to hit off on a little comment you made, man. Check this out. So, about a few days ago, man, last week, we all know who. If you don't, Rachel Dolezal, aka that's her, her born name. I guess she was going by Nikki Diallo or whatnot. But we all know the little incident she had that occurred a few days ago with the little OnlyFans situation. Okay.
We'll break it down.
Hold on.
Hold on. So just to clarify who this woman is. Okay. So Rachel Dolezal, man. I don't know if y'all remember back in 2015. She had the little scandal, man. Okay, she was, a college instructor, and an activist, for presenting herself as a black woman, despite being born with white parents.
NAACP too, I believe.
She was actually she was a chapter president in NAACP up in Washington State.
Okay.
Yeah.
That lasted about a year from 14 to 15 until this whole scandal broke out, where it was saying controversy over her racial identity, excuse me.
Sure.
So she was scrutinized in the public and everything, and her parents publicly say that she was pretending to be black but was actually white. So it was a whole big thing, long story short. Okay.
Right.
So she kind of fell off the map for a while. All of a sudden, the name pops up again. She resurfaces. Now she's back to doing her teacher thing, instructor, but she has an OnlyFans account.
Right.
And I don't know if any of y'all have seen the OnlyFans account. I happen to see some clips of it. And Miss Rachel
was
out there,
busting it open, dog.
She was out there, busting it wide open. Yes, she was. And just, so now, now she's back in the mix. So now because of the OnlyFans account,
they slapping cheeks.
Now she's lost the job as teaching.
Man, DPR, man, she was wilding, bro.
Hey man, the shit is alright. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, man. I had to sneak a few peeks, bro.
Yeah. How's the production value? Production value good?
Shout out.
Yeah, the production. I mean,
because some of the dudes be zooming in too much, man. I'd be like, ah, damn, zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, right. And you gotta get your angles down. You can tell it was an amateur production.
It was real amateurish.
Yeah, it was. She couldn't look too much like a pro, but all right. So this lady, what grade did she teach? She was like elementary school.
Professor. Nah, she was a college professor.
I mean, right now,
Ooh.
Right now, I don't know
like
what
the
grade
job
she was
she got
teaching right
fired
now.
from. I
I
thought
don't
she
know
was
what grade
teaching
she
at
was teaching
elementary
right now.
school right now.
I'm not sure what she was teaching for right now. Let me see. Let me see if
But
I
the
can
long and the
find.
short, man, is I think this opens up a conversation about how America views sex work and sex workers. And
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I think sex workers get unfairly demonized and
Oh, they get shitted
scrutinized
on.
based on it's like America's always had an man. Like we can do violence. Like
All day.
violence is
All
I
day.
think she was
whatever.
teaching
Give me
high
the
school.
guns,
High
baby.
school.
All day.
But sex is just something that
It's
I
faux
don't
pas,
think we
bro.
do well
It's
as a
faux pas.
society.
It's faux pas.
Yeah, man, and like so, but then there comes a point where you have to. There's some awareness over the station that you sit in and how you represent yourself in an organization that you work for too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean there has to be a line.
hey,
Um
man. Hey, before you finish your thought, man, I just want to interrupt. She was doing after school work for K through 5, and I'm sorry if I'm going to pick up my kid from K through 5. I ain't trying to go home and turn on the internet and see my kid teacher busting it open.
Why not?
I
What,
ain't.
hey, well,
Wide
time
open.
out. Time out. Why not? If I
I mean
listen,
that's
listen.
something about
If
you
I
too though, right?
right, listen.
I mean
If
what does that say about you?
if I got a hot ass teacher
I'm a
that
nasty one, right?
if I got a hot ass teacher and I'm like, and then I just happened to be scrolling one night.
Hey, man.
Man, you know, this day and
Hey,
age,
we
man,
all be
these
perving,
these
brother.
what they call them Gen Z, what is it, Gen Z?
Hey, we
Yeah, I
be
Mm-hmm.
think it is
These
perving.
Gen
Gen Z.
Kids, man, they tech savvy, man, so they can,
Yeah, but you don't
if it's
want
out there,
your
they can find it.
child to maybe stumble upon that.
Okay,
That's
But let me
all I'm
just,
saying.
okay,
well,
let's go
hold
to a
on.
deeper conversation with
But
that.
wait,
Then.
this
Well, time
wait
out, Guap.
before you start real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
The site was supposed to be fitness videos and hair chair conversations. That's what tutorial. That's what
Hey,
the fuck he said
it
the
was a
site is
fitness
gonna be.
video.
That was a fitness.
It
It was a
wasn't no
fitness.
hair. It wasn't no hair. I mean,
It ain't had no hair on it.
Hey, she had on the Emperor's New Clothes.
That's what I'm saying.
it
It ain't had no
it
hair
was
on it. I
hey,
can
it was a
vouch
little
for that.
depthy, huh?
That's
Oh,
nuts.
it was
What,
definitely,
what you about
brother.
to say though, Ryan? What's up, man?
I'm just trying, just to combat what Shy was saying, because everybody's like, oh, you don't want your kids seeing that. Then you should be aware of what your kids are looking at. The internet's
That's true.
the internet's a dangerous place, man. There's a lot of things out there for you, but you need to be aware of what's going on with your kids. And unfortunately, a lot of times we hands off. We, as in, I ain't got no kids, but a lot of times these parents are hands off with these kids. Oh yeah, here's a tablet, here's a phone, here's this. Get out of my face. See it all the time in the grocery store.
Now we breaking it down into a much deeper
We're
convo.
gonna say that. We're gonna say that for the other
I'm just
episode. But I know you're throwing it out. I know you're throwing that out there. But I will just say this before we go back on topic about that. I will say this. You're right. Parents do need to take advantage of the tools that's provided for them to put the parental things on their phone. Because I know I did that with my daughter, and my son has it as well.
Right.
They have time limits, and they have certain things that they can go on and certain things that they can't. But to that point, I would say they found a way, brother. Just like back in the day
But I was
when it was covered up at the 7-Eleven or whatever, you found a way to look at that stuff.
listen, you found
And
them old VHS tapes in your parents'
Right.
closet, top of the closet
Maybe
somewhere.
does Dallas.
You know,
make sure you rewind it back to the same time and all that.
I would
Right.
say
Man, what?
I would say
What?
I will say I agree with you. I am a child of finding a
And
way.
to the exact stroke on that mom.
I would say
Nah, but see the
And I
real, you know what the real issue is? The real issue is the parents are too pussy to talk to their kids about this subject.
oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's what the real issue
They want to be their friend and not the parent.
Well, I mean,
It's
and
not
it's not
accept this
even
that.
if you being a friend, you can have the
So,
you should be able to have the conversation.
that's what I'm saying, and
But
that's what I'm saying.
these parents are,
It's a hard
and I
conversation
think
to have.
the parents that
Yeah,
have it is hard, but hey man, parenting is hard, bro. Like
But
that's
it's
what you signed
necessary.
up for.
But
This
it's
shit is
necessary.
hard. This shit ain't
But
easy.
it's necessary. And I was gonna say this to piggyback off of something that Kat was saying. You talk about having these things in place, parental controls and all that, and and you said having to be there to be conscious of what your kids are watching, but you're not there 24/7 around your kids. You
No,
know,
you're not.
they go to their friend's house, the school, so it might be blocked on their phone, but they're gonna have access to it some way somehow. They will find a way to
Right.
have access to it. So like you
Well,
said, the thing is, like you said, making sure you talk to your kids about this stuff.
I
You gotta
mean,
have the discussion with them.
you gotta have uncomfortable
mine,
conversations.
yeah, man, mine is 11, and I want to say when he was, man, 7 or 8, one of his older cousins had him on the internet, and they huddled around that thing, and he was clicking away, man.
Hey,
He was putting them on
titties.
game, right? And you know how things work in families sometimes, where the parents find out, and then it's just, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Moment. Um, and I'm super open with my kid, man. I'm like, I'll talk to you about whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'll start explaining it, and then when we get to a point where he's feeling uncomfortable, he knows to say, "Hey, man, all right, I'll wait till I'm older," because that's what I always started with. Like just the other week, my old lady said something about anal,
Mm,
and that she was using it in the terms of anal retentive, you know,
yeah.
being on it like that. She wasn't talking about anal sex at all. But he's like, what is anal? And I'm like, well, all right, man, it's an adult conversation. I mean, are you sure you're ready to that? Because we're gonna flesh it out.
Mhm.
He's like, you know what? I'm cool. Dog. I'm straight.
My man thought about it
See,
like,
he hit you with that pause, huh?
yeah.
I would say I
Thank
would
you,
He said, "Relax, fam."
I
Yeah,
would say
relax.
when I was growing up, man. Yes, I grew up, majority in I grew up in suburbs around white folks, and one of my good friends, man, he lived across the street. He his dad always had this penthouse and Playboy collection, right? So one day he's hit me up. He's like, "Yo, Brian, hey man, check out these magazines." So we in between our houses, we flipping through these magazines, looking at titties and shit. I'm like, "Oh, titties," and this lady comes out that's next door. She's looking at us. Her name's Mary, old lady, and she sees us, and I was like, "Oh, yo, hey, yo, Ed, yo, put that away, right?" And I get caught or whatever. My mom had to sit down and talk like, "Hey, here's what it is. Here's what titties are. You know what I'm saying? Blah 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 blah." Truth be told, my mom did tell me later on. She was like,
Boobies.
she was like, "I'm glad that I saw that you got caught with looking at titties and shit because I thought you was kind of, frou. Cause I was really,
Wow. Wow.
cause I was really into art and
Wow.
shit. I was really into art, so I was like,
Right,
Wow.
right. So she ain't know. So part of her was like,
Wow.
Not that anything's wrong with that.
right.
But
yeah, man. I think that's the problem, though, bro. Going back to this teacher and sex work in general, like we cannot
Openly,
keep consuming the product of sex work and keep demonizing sex workers, man.
yeah. We don't.
I got
You
strong
right.
feelings about that, man.
Yeah. Oh no,
Because
for sure.
it's nothing that says that I can't be beautiful and want to entertain in that way and be a brilliant fucking teacher, bro. Like,
But
nothing.
listen, but
nothing
nowadays
says that I can't be both.
the game has changed from when you got women out here on the stroll, man. Walking up, how much what I get for $20 and all this stuff. Like you said,
Right.
these women and these dudes
seem
too
like you know a lot
are
about
making
that,
bread
brother.
off these platforms, man. Just like they
Yeah.
build up a platform, and these people go on here, women and men, and start showing their little bodies and engaging in sex on the platforms, or from the crazy things from up to like just showing your feet to the
Right.
most
Right.
extreme, and people are buying this stuff, man, and making bread, because you got it, man. America, just I don't say Americans, just people in general, man. We got some of the wildest fetishes out there. You know what I mean?
I
Well,
got-
that's because
wild
we
sex
are
stuff.
so sexually suppressed in this country, and I know that's wild to say, understanding that we know
Sex sells.
of much more sexually suppressed countries just due to our military experience and everything.
But there are a lot of countries that they are very they with it.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
yeah, I feel it.
women out here is
But see,
frowned
the
upon for
problem,
breastfeeding in public. But when you go overseas in some countries, is I remember when I
man.
went into the military and I first seen a woman breastfeeding on the bench outside, and I'm looking around like ain't nobody gonna say nothing. But
Man,
but
listen,
that's
when I was in
that's the
Italy,
states though. But that's how you see
Yeah.
it from the states. But in them countries, it's normal.
Yeah.
Man,
when I was in
they
Italy, man,
pulling it out.
you see it on regular TV. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just getting to Italy. I'm in the hotel, you know, and I'm watching TV. All of a sudden, you see,
Yeah,
hey, whoa, like this, like porn
yeah.
on regular
Straight
TV.
naked
Like, what is
nipple,
this?
man.
Yeah,
The nipple
Hey, I'll tell you
conversation is weird, man. Like, how
when I
why is
saw
it?
it, I was like,
It's
wait.
it's not sexual to see a man's nipples, but it's sexual to see a woman's nipple.
Mhm.
Like that shit is just
It's
weird,
wild.
man. I don't know. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. But you are really broaching a First Amendment conversation here, really. That's what you're doing. You're talking about freedom of speech,
Freedom of expression.
and that's not to say that it was a government, persecution. I do understand what the First Amendment is about. But this is, I mean, I don't know that it was a private school, right? So it was a government entity. Assuming it was a public school she was working for, it's a government entity. And I mean, at what point do her First Amendment rights become infringed upon? Because she's behind, an age wall that's set up to protect kids. Like she's not advertising it on school grounds or anything, to my knowledge. Like she's following all of the rules.
Yeah.
I
So
think, me personally,
Ain't my fault it
it's
went
just the
viral
fact
and
that
everybody got a hold of it.
it's the fact that her status of who she is, and who she was, that I think affects it the most. She's already out in the limelight. People know who she is, what she was. When as far as her career wise, and all of a sudden this comes out because I think I guarantee you, she's not the only teacher.
Oh
For
no,
that
there's been
matter, or the
plenty.
only
no,
person that really
I can bring
got.
up. I can bring up
There's
5
been
articles right now.
there's,
She's not the only teacher
there's, we,
that have been
we
caught.
ain't got to do that. We ain't got to do that. But that's doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's got an OnlyFans page, OnlyFans site, and it's out here, busting wide open and getting loose or whatever you want to do on the page, and it's not catching, not losing a job or nothing like that, but because of who she is, and I think the position she held, she just stood out.
well,
I
I
still
don't
didn't
know
know
if
she was.
I
I
mean,
still
you
didn't know
know
she
who
was
she
doing
is,
the
bro.
soul
Like,
man
come on,
thing.
man.
well, I would say
Say
this.
again.
I will say this, man. If
You
you
know
if
the
because she's not
soul
the
man, brother?
she's not the only teacher. She's not the only teacher to got caught with this, right? I get that she had her past and her other notoriety, and and all these other teachers that have been that done this have got shamed as well. Why are teachers? Why don't you do something to discourage them from doing that? As in,
Paying
pay
more money.
these damn teachers their money they deserve. I seen some of these kids. I heard some of these stories of what these kids and these be doing in their classrooms that these teachers have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I dated
Yeah.
a third grade teacher where the kids bringing needles to school, you know what I'm saying, threatening her with knives and shitting all over the bathroom on purpose. Like this is shit that they got to deal with, and then they got to come home and with the pennies that they got in their pocket and try to make a living. Hey man, if you think
I don't know that. I mean, there's a financial motivation for sure. For sex work.
Hey, some they
I
might
don't.
just be freaks, man.
But
Yeah,
Hey,
I
hear
I
what you're
don't know
saying.
if that should even. I don't know how much that could. And I agree, teachers are severely underpaid, and that financial motivation may or may not have been a factor. Most likely was a factor in her deciding to get an OnlyFans page. I think the bigger conversation is about the rights of sex workers as they too have to blend into society somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I'm a sex worker does not make me a bad. Just
No.
because
Right.
I'm a sex worker does not mean that I shouldn't be able to teach your kids. I don't necessarily agree with that. Where do you draw the line? I don't know, because that line is somewhere. Don't mistake it.
Yeah, it's
I
somewhere.
mean, there's some
Somewhere.
wild stuff you can be doing that would get me to the point to be like, you know what, man, I'm cool,
Hey,
man. Nah, you
all I know is the only thing that's making me want to do is go drop my kid off at school, brother.
Hey, what that teacher you say? What's she at?
What's she at? What grade she teach?
Hey,
what Miss Williams at?
What math class she teach?
I'm picking up little JJ from school today. Don't worry about it. I got it.
they like,
Yeah,
they
I
like,
got it. Don't
man,
worry about it. I got it.
Hey,
After, you need chaperones. You need chaperones.
you need chaperones.
I got you.
they like, child, you like PTO means you always at the school volunteering. You damn right.
So you
damn
say
Forward.
so you say I need to volunteer to be a tutor for a math class?
Right.
Hey,
What is that a problem though?
Hey.
What did you just achieve though? You just achieved more parental engagement in that school, bro.
Wow,
Like,
that's
you
crazy.
winning twice. You know what I'm saying? You winning, baby.
That's crazy.
You winning.
hey, and you ain't lying though.
That's
Sometimes you
crazy.
gotta get a dub, have to get a dub, man. A dub's a dub.
Thinking about it. Hey, I bet you as soon as that went out, I bet you the parent, man, them fathers was up there, Jack. They was fighting. They like, oh, baby, I'll take James to school today.
Oh,
They
man.
said-
I don't like him being on the bus. I'm gonna go pick him up
You
myself.
want to take you to school every day?
Be at work like, damn it, I forgot to bring Billy lunch today. God damn it.
Darn it.
That's the fifth time in a row.
Wow, man. But
Hey.
I mean, truth be told, man, if we talking about this for real, I mean, all the too much, but man, she should have known better, bro. That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah.
And personally, in her situation,
Yeah.
you think
You know it's gonna get out there.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna get out
You
there.
know you notorious, man.
Yeah.
You got a notoriety about you.
Yeah.
You're not just a regular chick walking around here.
Nah.
Like, people know who you are as soon as they find out, and that's something that before, because when whoever said, yo man, you know who she means out there, I was like, the white black chick got some stuff. I was like, nah, ain't no way, bro. The next thing you know, yeah man, the white black chick got some stuff, boy. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
hey man, she out here. But that's the crazy thing about it too. Once you got outed that you white, I still can't believe she's still putting on the charade and she
No, she changed her name. She changed her name.
Yeah, she
That's
changed
what I'm
it.
saying.
She changed her name. She changed her name to
not Bingy stuff, man. Like she's about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like she really fully committed. Cause she committed.
She changed her name to Nikki Amari Diallo, and she spelled it Nkechi. So I'm assuming it's like some kind of Nikki, Nikki,
guess,
some
man.
kind of.
Nikki, yeah, brother. She is fully committed.
But when they hired her as, you ain't gonna tell me even her pitch and be like, yeah, man, that's Rachel Dolezal. Like, come on, bro. Somebody knew.
She showed up to the interview. You mean to tell me ain't nobody say, hey?
Hold up. You look a little familiar.
They do background
Hey,
checks
this
on
would it
this
say.
one?
Hey, this would it say her prime
They looked at
occupation
her
was.
and then they looked at the ethnicity slot on the form and shit. It's like,
Hey, this would it say her prime occupation was a hairdresser from 2015 to present. She was
Oh.
a hairdresser.
She dressing up something.
I guess, man.
They like,
She needs to do an
she
interview
looks
for real.
But I'm gonna keep my eye on this one.
I mean, like I said, I've seen the site, man. I ain't knocking it at all. I mean, more power
I mean,
to
it's
or whatever.
cool,
you know,
man.
You just gotta be a little smarter about it.
Yeah,
Like what
that's
they say,
word.
just don't get caught.
I guess, and the
Yes.
truth be told, man, I mean, it's unfortunate that she's not being more vocal. on her own behalf. You know what I'm saying? I
No, she just
expect
came
her
out.
to
She just came out and spoke
Well,
on
she
it.
did. What she say?
She said
Yeah,
something.
she just came out and spoke on it. Let me see. It says so she breaks the silence after OnlyFans account.
Mm.
I don't see.
Yeah, I can't really get into like what she was saying because it's like they be trying to.
They popping
Yeah, I
up.
mean,
Yeah.
They be trying to
just
trick you into subscribing to some shit.
no, I'm looking. I'm looking. It don't say what
Why,
she said, but
but why Darius looking though? But you want to know something else, Jay? I meant to chime in when you was talking about like how male nipples relax is not considered, but a woman's is. But have you ever seen them skits where like a woman that be like, "Ooh, look at me in my bathing suit," but then they have on some panties and underwear that look the same, and they be like, "Oh my god."
Right.
It's the same shit. It's the exact same shit.
I don't know. It's a weird thing, man.
It's a mind thing.
It's an American
Like
thing.
that's an
American
It's
thing,
an American
bro.
thing,
That's
dog.
what
Cause I'm
it
telling
is.
you, in Europe, ain't like that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Trust me,
for
I
sure.
know. I love the beaches in Europe, man. Shout out to Nice.
And sometimes them old dudes be out there flirting too, man.
They be swinging.
Man,
I don't want to be looking that tough, man.
hey, listen to this.
They be out there like them old men in the gym shop in the gym.
They be doing the what's it?
wilding.
They be doing the Sam Adams. They putting that one leg up.
Yeah, they be
Oh,
wild.
man, what?
They be wild.
Obviously, she's flourishing very well off of this OnlyFans because this is what it says. It says infamous race pretender Rachel Dolezal, who legally changed her name to make her first public comment after losing her teaching job because of her OnlyFans, and it honestly seems like she's vibing. So, she's vibing. So obviously, she ain't really stressed her too much. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, teachers don't make that much salary, so I'm sure she getting a nice little penny.
Oh,
She's-
yeah.
I mean,
She
she's
don't
just.
even give a damn because she like, man, that this shit is banging right here.
Oh,
I mean,
She
you think
missed
she
an
gonna take her
opportunity,
page down, or you think she gonna keep rolling with it?
Man, you better,
man.
she better.
This better be a rollout into something big, man.
Right.
You need to play this into a major play. And
Right.
go on
Hey,
there, man.
People
You know
know
what?
you now.
I mean, now check this out though.
And you know them boys
Listen.
hitting her up. You know Vivid hitting
But
her
check
up.
this
You
out.
know
How many more
all
fans
the
did she
big
get?
boys is
The
hitting
fact
her up.
that this came out. How many more fans do you think she gained since this came out?
Oh, a
Because
shit
there's probably
ton.
lot of people that didn't
A shit
know she
ton.
had this thing.
Shit, I'm about to look her up right now.
Brother, she probably broke the internet.
Probably.
You said,
Probably.
you said, hold on, Jay. You said Vivic gonna come out?
Man, Vivid gonna be like, hey, listen.
I ain't know they're still around.
Speaking of which, man, remember that Teen Mom chick
Yep.
that busted it open? Have you seen her lately, bro?
She looked like plastic.
Oh my gosh, she's a ghoulish looking creature.
I forget
I
her.
haven't seen.
You know, y'all know who we're
Oh,
talking about, right?
man.
Yeah, she looked
Oh,
You
bad.
know her
bro.
name? What's her name? What's
Oh,
her
I
name?
forget, man.
Something
Man.
Abrahams.
Yeah,
I'm
Abraham.
cool, cause
Yeah.
she look wild, brother.
Yeah, she's looking like a ghoulish creature right now, bro. It's
Sarah Abraham.
yeah, Farrah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Farrah,
that's
yep,
it. Yeah,
yep.
Farrah's looking terrible, bro.
She look
She's
awful.
looking awful.
Oh yeah, I see.
But-
I see. Let me see. Look, images right here.
Yeah, yeah. She looked like that that dude from
Man.
Beauty and the Beast and shit. You remember
Man,
the
she
Beast?
looking wild, man. All this surgery, man. All this surgery.
For nothing.
And why do you
yeah.
think? What's the deal with that, man?
Surgery?
She was a
With
pretty
now
girl
this
too,
surgery,
back in the
man.
Man, I think that's I think it's a societal thing. It's a society. It's a societal thing, man.
People doing too much.
I think
bro.
it's a societal thing. Like I think a lot of these females feel pressured, and not just females nowadays. Now it's dudes too, but they just feel pressured by society to look a certain type of way. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
for what? What's wrong with? Okay, I understand.
Self-esteem issues and shit, man. Like,
but
what self-esteem
you know,
issues,
you might
man?
want to get your little boobs job done a little bit. You know, put a little, a little fat in your booty, whatever. But man, okay, some of these people,
Hey.
it's just outrageous.
I know it's the social media presence because but back in the day, like looking in magazines and looking on TV, everybody was skinny and looked a certain way. It's the exact same thing. Now these kids is on social media and they think that this is what they have to look like
And
in
it's
We
more
order
all
prevalent. It's
to
more
attract
prevalent.
somebody.
we all know this is the
But
era of
they
the thick
little
girls,
do they
man.
know that we all,
This
well,
this
all
is
of
the
us
era of the
majority
thick
like
girls.
the natural woman.
You know,
But
back in the day,
I
like you
feel it,
said,
man, and I
it's
could
like back.
see it. I could see if they were going and doing something dope with it, but they'll be like, "Hey, yo, the plastic surgeon, like, so what? You tell me what you want to look at." And it's like these chicks be like, "Hey, you ever seen Starscream from the first season of Transformers? Can you make my face look like that?"
give me that. That's what. Give me that.
Give me
Let me let me get that Galvatron joint. Transformers the movie. And
Yo,
that's the
let
part
me
that I don't
yo, let me get that
understand.
Yoda.
Nah,
Yeah,
y'all missing,
yeah.
Let me get that Michael Jackson.
But
Yeah,
man,
let me
listen,
get that Michael Jackson.
you have to be.
No,
Let
it
me
ain't
make my
that Michael
nose look like a
Jackson. Let,
stick.
let me.
Listen, man. Like you said, I think, like you said, it comes down to society, man. And it gotta be. There's some mental issues going on there too, man.
Hey,
It
they
gotta
like,
be
let me get
because
that
have
Latoya.
you
Oh
have
yeah,
you
for
taken a
sure,
look at yourself in the mirror and seeing what you look like? You look
for
like a damn
sure.
science project.
Well, that's the
But
thing.
at a point in time, it gets addictive too, though.
Yeah,
That's
yep.
what.
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah,
that
definitely,
addiction
definitely.
piece is
Because
tough.
it's like folks like with me with tattoos, man. You know, I love tattoos. I got a bunch of tattoos, and it got addicted. I got my first one, and I had to get another one, and now
Right.
I got this idea when I do this and do that. But man,
I
it's
mean,
like when is enough enough when it comes to stuff like that though?
well, it's
Tattoos
just,
is
like I
one
said,
thing.
back to the societal issue. Self esteem. A lot of people don't build up these females to be strong females no more. And that's unfortunate. And with the lack of maybe a full family, functioning family, I'm not saying you gotta be married or nothing like that, because I've seen people be divorced and work that out. It's just we don't focus on the mental and the self esteem of our kids anymore. It doesn't feel like
Hmm.
and I feel like and it's sad because I see my niece and nephew, don't have some
Hmm.
of that confidence and self esteem that they should. My niece is taller than me. She done 5'11",
I think
almost, and
everybody's taller than
she
you.
13. That's true, and she 13. You know what I'm saying? But she don't have the confidence and the swagger that I think that she deserves and
But
should
that's
have.
tough though, man, because when you that tall, that's another complex. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Right, but
yeah.
that's
I
also
mean,
societal looking at you. Oh, you tall. Why are you looking that tall? Why are your feet so big? And that's the thing. Why is that even a thing? You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, man. As much as far forward as we claim to be in terms of our society's recognition of mental health and mental health issues, man, it sure is a lot of evidence of more people with mental health.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know what
yeah.
I'm
Especially,
saying? It's like
especially,
mental health has become this
especially in our
buzzword
community,
and
man.
stuff.
Especially in our community.
Yes, man. Yes, absolutely,
But it's
absolutely.
not. But it's like we feel like, oh, I'm a sucker, man. If I gotta go, if I feel like I gotta talk to somebody. That's not. It's not like the cool thing,
Oh,
you know, to
you a
go out
pussy,
there and
man.
do,
You gotta talk to somebody. What?
Yeah,
and that's
It's
not
tough.
it at all, man. I
especially
think
in
the
our
awareness the
community.
awareness is out there a lot
Especially in
more
our
than what it
community.
used
Yep.
to be, but it still it seems like it's like some people like try to frown upon it on you, like as if you got to go if you got to talk to somebody about an issue you have or issues that you're having, man, and that's not cool because you look especially with these kids, man. You got a lot of these kids committing suicide, man, and doing all this crazy stuff, man.
A lot of these adults committing suicide, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we, us all being military, that was not only us being black, but then being in the military, double frowned
Hmm.
upon about your mental health.
Hmm.
What? Oh, it's gonna affect my career. Oh,
Hmm.
oh, I'm
I
black.
think the
Oh, I
ego
might have
efforts
anger
started going
management
up.
issues. All this other stuff, man. And it's just sad that we
Yeah.
have to look at you getting help as a detriment or as something bad. Like
Right.
if you break your arm, what do? You go to the doctor.
Right.
You break your brain. What do? You keep it inside. What are we doing?
Right.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't
Well,
lying, man. It's like go get that help for real.
I think but I think that's easier said than done too for some
For
people,
sure.
man, because medicine is cost prohibitive too. And that's one of the wildest things about this
Sometimes it don't even
country too,
require
man.
medicine
Is
though.
like
Sometimes it's a matter of talking to somebody, man. somebody
You're
just to
not
talk
wrong.
to you, just to being able to talk to you, and you just not even like giving you advice, but just sometimes just to listen. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Sometimes it could take just
I think
that, but
people, I think this generation is huge about building and honoring and respecting superficial relationships, bro.
stigma that's
Um,
put
Mm,
on it, yeah.
mm,
yeah, the social media, that's one of the fallouts of the success of social media is all of these fake friends and these fake eyes that people need to appeal to. You know, back in the day, you only worried about people that you knew in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like when we were coming up, for the most part, you weren't worried about, the internet and all that shit. You were worried about your small circle of friends, your immediate family part, and that's kind of who you had to deal with. But now it's like these people, these young kids, man, they're putting themselves on a stage for the world to see. And some of them think they want that attention. You
mm.
know what I'm saying? They honestly think they want it. But when the internet start clapping on your ass, and that thing is undefeated, bro.
Hey
Pause.
man, and like I said, man, I done seen my daughter, man, cry because somebody unfollowed her on Snapchat or whatever that shit is. And I'm over here like laughing to myself. And then I started getting mad because like, man, how are you affected by this? But then again, I had to take a step back and I'm like,
That's to her
that's the
reality,
world that
bro.
they live in and that's her
Hmm.
reality.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what it is. And you just gotta adjust and try to understand it, even if you don't
Really.
understand it.
Yep.
So that's
I
that's where
think
we at. That's where we at right now.
Yeah.
All right, Guap,
I
man.
think
But
we covered down on Rachel, man.
Yeah. Well, rappers out there, Guap.
All right, everybody. So I think that'll do for the day. Nice conversation. Fellas, I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. I hope the world starts to appreciate everything that we talk about and discuss here. It's just an open forum, man. We just out here trying to get information to the people and just discuss things, just daily life. It is what it is. Like we say,
Mm.
we got all these issues going on in the world today. We can't solve everybody's problems, but we can talk about it and just maybe come up with solutions for our own situations.
Yes, sir.
And maybe the things that we talk about can help you out. You never know. Hopefully it does.
Fact.
You know.
Get you
Fact.
Until
thinking.
then, hey, whose man's is this, fellas? Hey, it was nice conversation with y'all. We about to
hey,
sign
episode
out
one
here.
down, man. Episode one
So
down,
one.
baby. It's only gonna
Yes,
get
sir.
better
Yes, sir.
and you know what I'm saying, get a lot better along the way, man. First episode down, man.
Like, share, and
That's
subscribe.
word, man.
That's
Yes,
it,
Word.
sir.
fellas.
Peace to the gods, B.
All right,
Peace.
y'all.
That's it.
Yup.
All right,
Hey,
Kings.
all right.